this training, I'm going to break down exactly how I was able to scale my creative agency from $0 to $200,000 plus per month in just under 2 years. I've used this very protocol to repeatedly grow other creative agencies from $10,000 to $20,000 a month to consistent $50,000 to $100,000 per month, while removing founders from the day-to-day of the operations so they could work more on the business instead of in the business. If you have the attention span of a literal iPad kid and you can't sit through this whole video without getting up to scroll TikTok, sorry to tell you, you're probably not going to make it. When I first started my agency, I was the yes man. You want video? You want me to edit it? Yeah, you can do that. You want a website? Yep. You want me to pick your kids up from school? Sure. Whatever it took for me to please the client, for me to make them happy, for me to just not miss out on any piece of revenue. This made me the best generalist in my area, aka a glorified freelancer. And I pretty much was a part-time employee for a bunch of different businesses, which is not what I wanted. What it also did was it made me the bottleneck. Everything came through me and it was completely unscalable. And lastly, what it did is it just confused people. I had no marketing message. I had no offer that actually helped solve a specific pain point for these businesses. That positioned me as being the order taker versus having a solution to the pain points. That's why I want to get into the scalable offer, the irresistible offer first, because what we really want to do is we want to position our agencies as being a specialist and not just a generalist. A specialist will allow us to solve specific pain points, have magnetic messaging. It'll demand higher price points. It'll be repeatable. It'll be scalable, and it'll actually help your clients. First things first is we need to define the who we're actually going to be reaching out to. And when we think of who, we're not just think of people who need video. We want to figure out who our ideal client profile is and understand their pain points so that we can come up with process to getting them to their outcome. For example, it could be something like entrepreneurs doing $20,000 per month, HVAC companies with 10 plus trucks, luxury realtors doing 500,000 plus in gross commission income per year. We're getting really specific on our ideal client profile. Basically, you want to figure out, are they easy to find? Are they in a growing industry? And do they have finances to actually pay for it? And then there's also the personal stuff. Do you get satisfaction from working with these people? Do you have potentially a network with these types of people that you could start to serve and go deeper on? Next thing that we want to figure out is we want to figure out their pain points, what it is that they're dealing with on a day-to-day that they could potentially pay for to get solved. Pain points could be struggling to generate 5 to 10 new clients a month from social media. Their creative sucks and people don't trust them. They're struggling to figure out what to post and how to turn the views into actual clients. Then what we want to think about is the outcome. Most of the time it's the opposite of pain, but we can just word it a little bit different. The outcome is I want consistent deals from social media. I want on-brand creative that positions me as an authority. I want to have something that's on-brand that actually looks good. I want a repeatable strategy to drive leads. We need to figure out how do we help our clients go from their current state, their pain points, to their outcome. And how do we be that pill that solves their pain points and gets them to the outcome? Based off of everybody that you've talked to, based off of your expertise in this niche, what are the steps that they need to take in order to get there? And that's what we need to start thinking about, which will really formulate our offer. After we have our messaging and our client avatar defined, now what we need to make sure is that the offer is repeatable, delegatable, profitable, and scalable. We'll have 3 different tiers. The tier 1 is going to be the creative partner model. The tier 2 is going to be the done for you retainer model. And the tier 3 is going to be the done for you retainer model, but just elevated a little bit more service tacked onto it. But what's most important is that any offer that we're making, we just need to tie it back to the outcome that we determined based off of what the clients need. Let's talk a little bit about the creative partner model. It's a way to have an offer that's high profit, low overhead, not location bound, extremely scalable. To me, what I think is the new era agency model for people like you watching this. And it positions you as an expert and not just another agency, not just another freelancer, not just somebody that they can go out and hire. What we're doing is coaching. We're teaching them how we can get somebody from the pain to the outcome. This is how you can get out of the done for you for the burnout and position your agency as actual experts. Now what we want to do is we want to focus on the done for you and specifically the fulfillment. First, we define the steps on what we need to get somebody from A to B. Instead of teaching it, we're going to be doing everything for them. Firstly, you need to do is we need to map out all of the deliverables that go into solving the client's pain points. Then what we want to do is we want to figure out the who's going to do this step. And even if you don't have anybody on your team right now, we still want to visually think about who could I delegate this to, and it gives you an itemized look at your offer. Then what we want to do is we want to make it profitable. How many hours should this step take? How much could I pay somebody to do this? Then you multiply the hours by the rate, which gives you a total number, which would be your cost of goods sold. Then what we want to do is we want to identify a profit multiplier. We want to multiply each cost of goods sold, which would give us the total of how much it would actually cost to the client, because we want to make sure we have budget to hire these people. And how we do that is first identify in the offer. That gives us the total to the client, which would be $2,550. That's the number that's going to give you 66.66% profit on your offer and give you $1,700 in profit. This is set up to delegate. This is set up to be repeatable, and this is now set up to be profitable. This is the foundational work that we need to focus on in order to get us from where we are to where we want to go in our agency. And if we do this right, then this will really help position you correctly when we begin to grow and scale. Next thing I want to talk about is client acquisition. What I used to do was I would solely rely on word of mouth and referrals. And the problem with that is that it was just unpredictable. When it comes to client acquisition, there's a few ways that we love to do client acquisition. First is going to be the momentum campaign. Next is going to be doing outbound campaigns, and then the authority funnel, and then inbound. But what I want to focus on is the authority funnel. We want to funnel our message of the pain points and their desired outcomes and our mechanism into a funnel, and we're going to use Instagram to close deals from. There's a few steps to this process. First step is simply we need to be posting. We need to be building our agency brand. And the reality is that today's day and age, the best known is going to be the best all day. So the more known you can become, the more that it's going to scale trust. 80% of people do research before actually purchasing. Your social media is your modern day resume. It's important that we're building our brand and we're being active as positioning ourselves as an authority to the who that we defined. Here's a typical monthly posting schedule that you could do. And we just rinse and repeat. Pretty simple process to do that. I think a lot of people fear what others are going to think about them. I think a lot of people fear about saying something a specific way or coming off as perfect. But the reality is that people are watching 15 TikToks per minute. They're not going to sit there, analyze your video, go word for word. And the people that would judge you, that's not your ideal client avatar. Next thing that we want to do is we want to pay for traffic. There's really two ways to get attention. It's consistency in going viral and just over time. And then the second way is to pay for traffic. So what we're going to do is we're going to create two ads that are going to drive to our Instagram profile. They're going to be top of funnel, attract our ideal client avatar, gain our following, authority, as well as opportunities for us to close more deals. So the first ad that we want to create is a carousel ad. If we're creating a carousel ad, obviously it's up to 10 different slides that we can use. First slide wants to be a hook. This could be something like, here's how ideal market avatar are achieving desired outcome without pain point. After working with hundreds, here's a 6-step process I'd follow. For example, here's how real estate agents are closing 5 deals per month from Instagram. Let me show you in 6 months. The next part of the carousel ad is going to be up to 6 different pieces of copy that are teaching them how they can close 5 deals per month on Instagram. How we want to frame the copy on the teach is we want to do old way, implications as like a headline, and then down below, we just want to teach them. Stop posting market updates. Nobody cares about them. They want to know that you can be trusted as an authority and help them purchase one of the biggest assets of their life. Then we do the call to action. And the call to action is usually like a 2-step. Every day, my team and I work with realtors at the $500,000 per month in GCI, and we help them achieve desired outcome, achieve desired outcome, achieve desired outcome without pain point. And then the end is just simply DM me the word blank to learn more about it. Once this is done, then we move on to the next ad, which is a traffic ad. It's going to drive awareness and then it's going to drive traffic to your Instagram page. We want to make this a video. We want to say, if you're a niche, you want to achieve desired outcome, but you're struggling to pain point, go ahead and give me a follow here on Instagram where I show niches just like you, how they can achieve desired outcome without pain points. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and give me a follow. How it looks in action. If you are a real estate professional and you want to become the most known agent in your area and get leads from social media, but you are struggling to post consistently, causing you to miss out on thousands of impressions each month, create quality content that attracts your ideal client, or how to convert your traffic from your social, go ahead and give me a follow here on Instagram. Check out my content where I show real estate professionals just like you how you can turn your Instagram page into a funnel for new clients without needing to rely on word of mouth and referrals or spending thousands on ads. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and give me a follow. These will be the 2 ads that are going to be what's called the top of funnel ads. This is a heavy activity campaign that your Instagram is going to be blowing up for. Then what we want to do is we want to do retargeting ads. Basically what we can do is we can retarget customers based off of, have they sent us a message in the last 90 days? Have they visited our profile? Have they followed us? We're taking that subset and we're feeding them. If our messaging is dialed on our ads, we're going to start getting our ideal client profiles, and we want to make sure that we are omnipresent to them. So from a retargeting ad perspective, this is where we go hard on the hard call to actions. So this could be a lead magnet. This could be a hard call to action. This could be a free training that you created. You want them to DM you a specific word and opt in to learn more about how you can help them, or the lead magnet that you're giving. And that also means that anybody who's followed you 30 days ago and maybe they're not interested after you've tried to set an appointment, they're going to still see your stuff over and over and over again. So let's talk about budget. We have the carousel ad. I would probably put about 60% of my budget towards the carousel ad. Then I'd put another 30% to the follow ads. And then I would put the 10% left over to the retargeting ads and let them cycle through and continue to add to it. Now what we want to do is we need to set appointments. So appointment setting will basically be done through the direct messages. And what we want to make sure is we have speed to lead and that we're responding to these people and we're following a framework in the direct messages that's going to make sure you're jumping on calls with quality clients and that you're getting a high volume of calls and you're not just burning money with your ads. What you're going to start to see is you're going to start to see people opting in. What we want to do is we want to find the gap, we want to qualify them, and we want to sell them on a call. Then you're going to start getting a lot of traffic, new followers from our follower ad. We want to find the gap, we want to add value, we want to qualify, and we want to sell the call. A way that we can help find the gap is thanks for responding. Mind if I ask you a few questions to see how we can help? This is where you ask questions related to their current situation, which will help create the gap of where they are to where they want to go. Then we want to qualify and in addition find the gap. So somebody follows, we want to reach out to them immediately. Thanks for following. Looks like you're also a real estate agent. Then you start the conversation. Then we want to qualify them. We ask qualifying questions. How long have you been in business? What are your goals? Oftentimes we'll send value if we need to prove ourselves or if they have specific questions. Then we want to sell the call. Would it be helpful if we jumped on a call and mapped out the plan for achieving desired outcome, which they laid out in the appointment setting scripts? A lot of different variables that happen here, but it's going to be important that you write your scripts ahead of time. And hopefully at some point you can have appointment setting tree. That's what we created, was basically a tree that our appointment setter goes to that will make it really easy for this to be scalable, repeatable, and eventually delegatable to somebody else. Now it's time to actually close the deals. So we need a process to do that. We have a pre-call process. So we want to use a sales calendar. We want to have a CRM. We want to have automated text reminders. We want to send them a video sales letter, educating them on what we're about to talk about. We want to have the 2-hour text reminders. We want to make sure that we are constantly feeding them so that they know what they're about to get into from a call perspective. And it's going to pre-sell them on the actual call, and they're going to go into the call saying, oh my gosh, what you said in that video is solving all my pain points. And then we have the reminders to make sure they know that the time is coming up to prevent no-shows. And overall, it just makes it a good process for the client, because the minute they say yes, the minute they sign up for a call is the minute they question if they should jump on a call with you or not. So we just need to continue to affirm it. This is what it looks like. We have a pretty dialed in process using Go High Level. Then we have the call. What we want to do is we want to start off with rapport, set the structure of the agenda of the meeting. What was their motivation of booking a call with you? What's their current situation? Are they aware of the problem? Are they aware of the solution? Then it's getting commitment, presenting something, and then price framing. Then lastly, follow-up protocol. We need clean follow-up email, potentially with like a Loom video reviewing everything, or you send them to the recorded call. And we need to follow up every 24 hours and get them to either say yes or get them to say no. We plug them into a nurture sequence as well within Go High Level. Next up is the systems and processes. Key systems that you need in your agency is going to be a one-click onboarding, just automating your whole onboarding process. The minute a client says, yes, I want to work with you, is the minute they have buyer's remorse. So we need to affirm that through good onboarding. Next is client directory. Where are you storing all your client information? Where are you storing the notes? Where are you storing the process? We need one centralized location for our clients. And then the productized process, we need to understand what exactly happens when you close a deal so that you can start to create the process based off of your expertise. And then lastly, project management. When you do close a deal, how do you make sure things are actually getting done? What I'm going to focus on today is going to be productized process. You're doing something for your clients repeatably, and all we need to do is we just need to get what's in our head, and we need to start documenting it and creating a process for it. What are the steps from getting our clients from the pain point to the desired outcome? And what we just need to do is we just need to write it out so that we know that it's a consistent fulfillment process, which eventually you'll be able to get off of your plate. We just need to do this for all 3 offers. How we do it is we use a tool called Notion. We just want to create pre-step 1, step 1, post-step 1, pre-step 2, step 2, post-step 2. That is the format that you can follow. For each little column, basically we want to insert the task of what happens. We want to open it. We want to insert a Loom video. We want to assign who is that for from a role perspective, who the person is that's going to be managing that, so that we can start to envision our agency on who's going to be doing what. Then your outcome should really look like this. A long list of everything that gets done in your agency if you fulfill on a specific offer. And this is going to be stored in the client directory. This is how you train your team. This is how you improve your offer. And then it just is going to create repeatability in your agency. And once you have that productized process, that will help you identify what project management tools do I need in order to hold somebody accountable. I'm going to store this in the client directory, so every time we get a new client, productized process is automatically going to populate, and it's going to give me the onboarding system of what I feel is going to be an ideal onboarding workflow for our clients. Now what it's time to do, it's time to delegate, get stuff off of your plate, which is going to be talent acquisition. What I see oftentimes, and myself included, was I'm trying to keep all the money myself, because if I hire somebody, that's going to cut into my margins. But what we did beforehand is we made sure that we were priced for profit, so this should not be an issue. And really what it led me to, by having that hoarding mindset and not knowing what I know now, is it just kept me working all the time. I couldn't find somebody who could actually do what I needed them to do. Another thing that I think about oftentimes in the creative space, we feel a little bit superior because we are the most creative people.
No one's going to be able to film the video the way that I film the video. Nobody's going to be able to edit the video the way that I do it.
If we continue with this mindset, we're going to end up just continuing to be the glorified freelancer. We need to remember systems run the business, but people run the systems. So we need to figure out the people that can run the systems that we've just created. I also think it's a mindset shift. If we can find somebody to do 80% as good as we can, that's much better than me just being on the hamster wheel, being capped for my agency. It's worth it to delegate. First step that you want to do is you want to create what's called a start-stop list. What do I need to start doing more of as an agency CEO, as an owner, if I want to move this business forward, and what do I need to stop doing? And literally everything in the stop can be a job description. You'll be surprised how many hours you're probably wasting doing stop tasks. And that puts your hours from 60 to 23, and then you can do more of what that business actually needs. How do we find somebody to actually get stuff off of our plate? First step is we need a job description. We have the role, the responsibility, and the smart expectations. Role is the video editor. Responsibilities: edit videos every single day, make them creative, add text. Smart expectations: this is where you need to set other people up for success. We need specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based expectations for every single person that we're bringing on, so that you know what success looks like for your agency, as well as the person that you're bringing on knows what success looks like for them. If this is really confusing for you, all we need to do is use ChatGPT and just brain map everything that this person is going to be doing for that specific role. Next is the job posting. We want to make sure that the person that's reading on the other end knows exactly what this job is, so that you can get people who are magnetized towards the brand mission, vision, excitement level, your tonality in the job description, and they're really clear on what they're doing before they even think to apply for the job. So use this ChatGPT prompt. We want to create a fun, engaging job posting that we can then share, post online. Then what we want to do is we want to create an intake form. If we're posting a job, we're going to get a lot of candidates. So what we want to do is we want a filter mechanism, which is pretty much an intake form. If you saw on a job posting down below, to be considered, drive them to intake form, essentially here, we're only going to consider people who are actually going to fill out. The intake form is just a list of first interview questions. You can use ChatGPT based off of the job posting. Write me a list of 15 pre-screening questions to see if it is the right fit for the role in the company before we consider them for the position. We need that intake form as a barrier, and you're just going through the responses on the intake form, and it'll be very easy for you to say yes or no to specific candidates. Next is the interview. So we just need a list of interview questions. Anytime we get a new candidate, we just open a new template, and it populates our first interview questions, which is basically just getting to know them to see if they're an actual candidate, so that they could move on to the next step of the process, which would be test work. We want to send them raw footage. We want them to edit the video as closely as the finalized edit, and that will be the indicator if they can actually follow instructions and if they can match the editing style that we're used to at our company. What we do is we just send them these instructions. It needs to be step by step. Then we send them over raw footage, finalized video, and then what their goal is they send it back to us. They tell us how long it took, any notes, and then the actual video. After they follow these steps, we want to give them a 30-day trial. We're not going to hire somebody right out the gate. We want to position this as a trial perspective, just to set the right expectations with them, as well as position you as not the bad guy if something goes wrong. I like to always position a 30-day trial as like the first step in hiring somebody. And it's all about finding the best talent. And if you don't have the best mechanism to find the best talent, you're going to be back at square one over and over again. You're going to throw your hands up and you say, I'm just going to do everything myself. But the most important thing to know, guys, is this. And this is from my boy Jocko. He says, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. What that means is that you need to take responsibility for setting somebody up for success. They're only going to be as good as the trainings that you provide, the time that you spend with them to help them succeed. And this will be probably the most fulfilling part of your agency once you start hiring people and seeing them grow. That is more fulfilling than clients, the money, any of that stuff. This is the blueprint to how to scale a creative agency. If you want to scale and grow your creative agency from maybe $10,000 to $20,000 a month to $50,000 to $100,000 per month, and remove yourself from the day-to-day operations and want my personalized help one-to-one to help implement all of the processes that I talked about, go ahead and click the link in the description to book a call with us. Also, go ahead and click on this video if you want to see me remove myself from my entire business in just 7 days. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are a creative agency owner and you're looking to grow and scale, be sure to subscribe to my channel where I post more value-add content just like this one. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.